They have just 1 hour to cook a 2-course meal of their own design. Only one will win a place in the quarter-final.
Believe it or not, guys, you are already halfway there. What have you got, Dan?
First course is going to be scallops, and the main course is going to be monkfish wrapped in Parma ham.
You look around this kitchen, there's a frantic pace going on at the other 2 benches.
Yes.
And your calm exterior may be...
Might be seen as, like, maybe cocky, but no, it's not at all. This is something that I love cooking, my girlfriend loves it. You know, I'm just cooking you stuff I like cooking.
That's got to be absolutely perfect because the other 2 are a little bit dangerous, a little bit different. 2 minutes! It's all done, all said.
Craig has devised a starter of crab custard with parmesan and pecorino with a grapefruit and pea shoot salad. His main is sea bass with tomato and thyme butter on a broad bean and sweet pea succotash.
The crab in the cream is quite subtle. It's completely and utterly washed away by a bit of sharp pink grapefruit. But I think you cook. I think you're an exciting cook. OK. I actually think it's good. It's a lot better than I expected.
Thank you.
Let's move from starter to main course. Let's have a look at this fish. I watched you and I thought it's going to be undercooked, and it is. You see? I think it's really exciting. I think it's really interesting. I don't think it's quite right, and the fish being undercooked... You got the succotash, which came out of the American Depression, the Great Depression, and it's poor people's food. It's basically a stew. And on top of it, you've got a beautiful but very expensive piece of sea bass. The 2 just will not amalgamate together. You've come on here with an intention, that's why you've stuck your neck out.
It's a one shot, so we've got one go at this, so that's it.
Alexis is banking on her menu of duck breast with Madeira sauce, served with celeriac and potato rosti. Her pudding is sweet risotto with rhubarb, orange and rosewater compote.
The power, of course, is the beautiful fatty duck and that rich but very sweet sauce. It's almost dessert sweet. I'm not going to say I don't like it. In fact, I don't mind it at all.
Thank you.
Bring in the pudding. You have got that sweetness, sharpness absolutely right. And then in comes this 300 litres of rosewater and just takes everything away. Good, almost great, but not quite. There's so many delicious flavours in there already, and unfortunately it's all just flanked by this rosewater. It's very, very tough competition, but can you do it?
I believe so.
Do you want to do it?
Yep.
Dan's dreams are resting on a menu of scallops with pea puree and chorizo and black pudding, followed by monkfish wrapped in Parma ham on a bed of mashed potato.
Delicious, rich scallops, well seasoned. Sweetness of the peas, and it all comes together. All you want to do is eat the rest of the plate. It tastes and feels very, very nice indeed. Right, from starter to main course. Yeah, I like that. Really like that. We get into that beautifully cooked fish, and that flesh is soft and lovely. It is right. It's the food you want to eat. It's the food I want to eat. I'm just wondering if it's a little bit too simple. Right. So, the fish has to be cooked perfectly, the pesto has to be absolutely delicious, and the mashed potato has to be the most wonderful mashed potato in the world. Like your starter, Dan, I'm really happy to eat it all.
They have just 1 hour to cook a 2-course meal of their own design. Only one of them will win a place in Thursday's quarter-final.
1 minute. That's it, guys. All over.
Can Fatima succeed with her diverse menu of almond and grape white gazpacho with grape molasses, followed by quail stuffed with fruit and nuts on a bed of oranges and watercress?
The overriding power and flavour for me is garlic. The sweetness of the grape. Fatima, this is very, very game food to be doing. It's very exciting food. Garlic, almond, cream. I like your style. I like your bravery. That doesn't particularly work for me. Garlic and grape is a combination that I'm not used to. Should we move from starter to main course? Sweet orange, luscious, delicious, really well cooked quail. It's fantastic.
Thanks.
Really, really fantastic. It's a very nicely cooked bird, very nicely. But I get a sort of citrus and sweetness that I'm not quite used to. But I do admire your crusading style.
Thank you.
Has Maris managed to pull off her classic continental dishes of millefeuille of salmon, sour cream and spinach, followed by rack of lamb niçoise with roasted vine tomatoes?
Now, there's a lot of liquid coming out of there. It's pastry first, sour cream afterwards, and then in comes the salmon with a little bit of lemon there, sharpness. It's not bursting with flavour. I think it's very, very pretty. I get the texture of the pastry and the salmon, really understand it. But it's a bit flabby. Right. The spinach is there, but actually doesn't give much flavour. I like the way your mind works. I think it's really interesting. Yeah. First of all, that tomato, because you warm the tomato through, so it just bursts with fruit. Really good. And I'm hitting that lamb that is big and meaty, and I'm picking up freshness of herb and courgette. That's good. Sweet tomatoes, rich lamb, lovely raw parsley, potatoes and olives. Delicious. I think you cook really well, Maris.
Catherine's bidding for the quarter-final place with poached cod on a bed of saffron rice with roast tomatoes, followed by margarita syllabub with salted cookies.
I've got to say, both your dishes are very, very elegant. Cod, saffron, starchy rice. Delicious. It really challenges your palate. You get fruity tomato at the start, and you get the heady saffron, almost metallic at the end. I think you're almost there. It's sour from the lime, it's sweet from the sugar, then the saltiness of that biscuit. It's a really interesting idea. I think that you can cook very, very well. Oh, yum. Oh, and it keeps on coming. You get tequila, you get tequila heat, you get lemon sharpness, you get a little bit of sweetness, it's creamy, you get salt, and then you get buttery biscuit.
I'd normally make it with a little more tequila, but I didn't want to overpower you.
I think that's really good and really clever. Our quarter-finalist is Catherine. Well done. Congratulations.
I'm very pleased to have come this far in MasterChef. Obviously, I'd like to have gone on further, but for me, it wasn't to be. C'est la vie.
Oh, it's awesome. I had a lovely adventure, I had a great time, and I'll look back on this quite fondly.
It's just the most exciting, amazing thing.
The 3 remaining contestants now face their most advanced cooking challenge yet. They have an hour and 20 minutes to produce a 3-course meal that they've designed themselves. Sheridan's finished in time, but will her scallops on a bed of parsnip puree with coral sauce impress?
Wow, that is just absolutely bursting with scallop flavour. And that sauce is an absolute triumph. I didn't expect that, and I've just been smacked in the face with it. Absolutely wonderful, well done.
Thank you.
Well-cooked scallop, nicely cooked puree. The flavour of that sauce is very, very strong. I think it's quite exciting, and you know you've eaten scallops.
Can Sheridan match the success with her main course of pork and crackling with celeriac mash and a cider jus?
You get a little bit of cider at the start, and then in comes the celeriac. Your pork's beautifully cooked. Your crackling is lovely and crunchy.
Okay.
The strength of the flavour that comes from the fat and the crackling with the celeriac is great, but the sauce needs a bit more punch.
Okay.
But you're cooking interesting food.
Yep.
Sheridan's hopes of a semi-final place now rest on a dessert of rosewater biscuits and creme patisserie with raspberries and a raspberry coulis.
First onto my tongue was your raspberry coulis. The biscuit, strong enough to hold it, gentle and soft enough to just fall apart, buttery and gorgeous. Ah, gorgeous.
Thank you.
Just because you stack your food up, it ain't going to taste any better. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The raspberries are sweet, lovely soft buttery biscuits, vanilla into cream, lots of skill and a lot of finesse. It's very, very delicious.
Thank you.
Very delicious.
Have we seen everything we're going to see of Sheridan?
There's so much more I can give and show. I think the foundations are there and they can be built on quite a lot. I love cooking and I want to have cooking as my job. I want to be able to do it every single day. It makes me so happy. Just, you know, being in the kitchen and cooking. And yeah, there's stress and there's lots of things, but any other job's going to be stress. Why not have a job that you love?
Andy's first course is a salad of crab mayonnaise and pink grapefruit.
It's fresh, it's clean, it's sharp. It has the sweetness of that grapefruit. It has lovely sweet crab. The mayonnaise is just binding it together. It's clever stuff.
I enjoy my crab. The sweet and sharpness of the grapefruit first. I think that's absolutely yummy.
Andy's main course is poached sea trout with asparagus, mashed potato and mint hollandaise.
The wine of that sauce comes right out the start. Texture of the potatoes is fantastic. The fish is cooked beautifully. You are doing pretty well.
Your mash is soft and nicely seasoned. The fish is sweet, the flesh is gorgeous. I think that's delightful.
His dessert is spiced pear tarte tatin with creme fraiche.
The pastry's lovely and crispy on the outside. It has that lovely chewy caramel stuck on the side of it. The pears are cooked really, really well. It's very tasty indeed. Very tasty indeed. And a crowd pleaser.
Hint of lemon, giving way to caramel, giving way to juicy pear. Very good. Yummy. OK, Andy, how do you feel that went?
I haven't cooked 100% here. There's always things to change. I was going at 100 miles an hour, but I hope that I've shown the kind of food that I like to cook, and I hope I've given you a sense of the kind of cook I am. Yeah, I've really enjoyed the experience, and I'd just love to go further, basically. So, you know, I'm going to keep raising my game, keep learning, and I'd love the opportunity to show you guys, you know, more of me.
They now have to cook a two-course meal of their own design. Only one will win a place in the quarter-final. Perfectionist Julie is hoping her traditional dishes will be fault-free.
Julie, I want to know what you're doing.
I'm fried sea bass with fennel and tomatoes, and then I'm making an apricot clafouti.
It is in a way, quite classic.
Yeah, I do like my food quite simple. I like to be able to taste the individual ingredients.
So how do you stand out in the crowd?
Just
Why are you better?
by cooking it really well.
I love the sound of Julie's menu. Sea bass, clafouti. Go on, girl, bring it on.
Sales manager Jason wants to prove he can pack flavour in by cooking a Thai starter and a European main course.
We've got Thai crab cakes with a dipping sauce, and then we've got a roasted chicken with mushroom sauce with sauteed potatoes and baby leeks.
What marks you out as a quarter-finalist?
I've got a good palate and I can do more than one thing.
Well, Jason's food better taste good, because it reads pretty safe to me. That better be delivered on flavour. Just 5 minutes!
Education officer Nova is bringing together lots of different ingredients to impress the judges.
What are you cooking for us, Nova?
Asparagus with a duck head with the sauce hollandaise, with some truffle oil dressing and a few parmesan shavings. And then for main course, I'm doing pan-seared halibut with some cockles and mussels in a white wine cream vermouth sauce with a few peas thrown through at the end.
There seems to be lots of ingredients in here whereby we start with quite classic dishes and then we're adding other bits to it. Are the additions your additions?
A seafood in my stomach, and I visualise it and I think what goes well and just bring it together, and I don't know why and where it comes from.
It has one ingredient on each dish too many. They now have to deliver on flavour because they are so complex, but they have to be very, very subtle.
Only 2 minutes left!
Your time is up.
Julie has made pan-fried fillet of wild sea bass with baked fennel and tomatoes, sautéed new potatoes and fennel sauce, followed by apricot clafouti with creme fraiche.
The fish is delicious. Absolutely delicious. Not overpowering. The sauce is not overpowering. Your potatoes aren't cooked enough.
No.
It's a shame about the potatoes because the rest of it's absolutely wonderful. Meaty, meaty, strong fish, back out, slight fennel finish. Good palate, well balanced, well done.
Tell us about your clafouti.
I forgot to put the sugar in my clafouti batter.
So we're going to have a bit of a problem unless these apricots are the sweetest apricots in the world. Here we go. I still want to scream at you because texturally it's so good. The apricots are lovely and juicy. The batter is light. The contrast is absolutely perfect. And you made such a blunder by not putting sugar in a dessert.
Yeah.
It feels right in your mouth. If you bite down, you get the deep apricot, you get the sharp of the creme fraiche, you're left with the batter, you're expecting a sugar rush, and nothing happens.
Has Jason managed to put flavour into his starter of crab cakes and Thai dipping sauce and his main of roast chicken with mushroom sauce, fried potatoes and pancetta?
I'd like a little bit more sharpness maybe in the way of citrus, and I'd like a little bit more chili heat. Exactly the same problems as your dish yesterday.
Okay, go on.
It's a bit flabby and it's a bit sweet rather than being zingy and exciting. It should be and not a bit.
Okay. Let's bring the main in.
Beautifully cooked chicken. Potatoes need seasoning. And the mushroom sauce is just a little bit there, a little bit not.
I'm getting a slight hint of this wild mushroom sauce, only a slight hint, because the potatoes are nicking everything.
Okay.
Will Nova be able to impress with her elaborate dishes? Pan-fried asparagus with duck egg, hollandaise sauce, white truffle oil dressing and parmesan, followed by pan-fried halibut on samphire with a cockle and mussel white wine sauce.
I get asparagus, duck egg and Parmesan cheese. The hollandaise is not punchy enough. Do your hollandaise really well, Nova. You don't need to do Parmesan truffle oil. It feels as though you're putting 1 or 2 ingredients more than the dish needs on a plate.
what I get is iron asparagus, rich egg yolk and cheese. In equal measure, nicely balanced, but I wonder where the hollandaise went, and I wonder where on earth the truffle oil went.
To main course.
I think you have very good flavours in there. Sweet mussel, salty cockle, salty samphire. Nice flavours.
Again, I feel as though there is an ingredient too many. Beautifully cooked, sweet, soft mussel. Wonderful, crunchy samphire. It's a good dish. I think you're trying too hard, Nova.
Yeah. I'm bored with my food. I'm very bored, and I want to turn it into something that stuns me.
If you're bored with what you're cooking, right, then how are you going to make that exciting enough to make us excited about you?
Thank you very much. Off you go.
MasterChef, quarter-final place. I want to talk about Jason because today the crab cakes, I think, has proved to me that there is not enough in his palate. And I think almost the same with the chicken. It just wasn't full of flavour.
Yesterday, we both told him you haven't got enough chili heat in here and you haven't got enough citrus zing. Today, we try the fish cakes, and again, we say exactly the same thing to him. I don't mind people making mistakes, but the same too again the next day?
I'm quite happy with what I've done, and if I'm happy with what I've done, you know, that's the best I can do.
Jason's got to go.
Now it's between Nova and Julie.
Julie, she's got undercooked potatoes, and she's got that lovely clafouti without any sweetness in it at all.
I really, really want to go through, but if I did, it would be on a wing and a prayer.
But Julie thinks like a cook who could go a very long way in this competition if she stops the stupid little mistake. Sugar to your clafouti and cook your potato. That's it. Fantastic food. Sea bass was beautiful. Sauce, wonderful. Come on.
Nova?
It is an unsure person who decides to add another ingredient, another ingredient, another ingredient, because actually they're not cooking each thing as well as it should be cooked, because she hasn't seasoned her hollandaise properly. And that's why there's truffle oil and salty parmesan on it.
The combination of starter of asparagus, cheese and the duck egg was lovely. It was well balanced, it tasted great. I love the flavours in our main course.
It would mean a huge amount if I got through to the quarter-final, so it would be an amazing achievement.
But she made the fatal mistake of telling us that she's bored with her food. If you're bored with your food, how are you going to cook brilliant food? How are you going to inspire anybody? No, I'm really sorry. You can't be bored with your own food in MasterChef.
But there are no big glaring mistakes. You can hardly see Julie behind the pile of mistakes.
Listen, we've got to agree. Nova or Julie?
Our quarter-finalist is Julie.
Congratulations.